So, Wilkie,
Hamish.
this week I was thinking, because there's been all this talk about NFTs online. I've had to write about them today. I was saying that before we started recording.
Yep, that I have also seen these things, yes.
I was thinking we should sell this episode of the podcast as an NFT. Now, will we actually do it? I don't know. I don't know how we'd do it. It's something I'm going to have to look up after the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it could also be something that I'll like completely forget to look up after the show.
Sounds like the sort of thing that one of us would do, yeah.
Yeah. Make a false promise to our listeners because, you know, our brains are like sieves. We are goldfish.
This is true. We are two goldfish in a bowl, and someone just sticks a microphone in here for an hour a week, and just any disparate thoughts that happen to be clinging to the insides of our heads, just out they come.
I think it could be really successful. And if you're wondering what's an NFT, I'm going to tell you after the theme song.
I'm not wondering, but someone else might be.
Exactly. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the show we like to do here at the weekends, or as you call it, Thursday. Is of course Boy Review, hosted by me, Hamish.
And me, Wilkie. Now, Hamish, you were going to tell us all about a little something called NFTs. Of course, I know exactly what they are, but some members of our audience might be confused.
Yeah, so an NFT is this cool new thing on the internet. As it always is. No, I promise you, it's not a fad. This is not a bubble that's going to burst in like 2 to 3 weeks' time. This is something that's going to last forever, God damn it.
Is that what it stands for? It stands for New Fad Thing.
That was definitely incidental on my part. NFT stands for non-fungible token. And I think that's explained.
Yeah.
You know what an NFT is.
You know what?
Now.
Look, the amount of money I've had to spend on purses and bags and foam-lined cases to keep my tokens in, because look, if you leave them out for 1 minute, they're just going to get funged, right? Straight, just they go all fungy. The texture is ruined, and the value plummets. So these non-fungible tokens, I don't know how they've done them. I don't. The technology is.
I've heard it was this special sauce.
Yeah,
it's 11 herbs and spices.
Yeah, they cover them in the special sauce, and they become unfungible. Funging is the bane of my token collection.
I mean, you're not wrong, Wilkie. In a way, you're not entirely wrong.
That's how I operate.
It's
That's
weird.
how I operate. I'm never 100% wrong. There's always a little bit of truth in there.
So, something that's a fungible. Let's start with like what would be a fungible token.
Go for it.
So, Wilkie, if you've got an apple, let's say you've got a Granny Smith and it weighs 100 grams.
That's a chunky apple.
Yeah, and then I come along with a second Granny Smith apple that weighs 100 grams.
Okay.
For many intents and purposes, those are identical. Like I could trade you my Granny Smith for your Granny Smith, and that would be a pointless trade, but it would be, you know, there's no real value difference there. If you were to go to a shop and pick up Granny Smith apples, you would expect to pay the same amount for each of them, all of that kind of stuff.
That all makes sense, yes.
Right. So those are fungible things. But let's say you've got the Mona Lisa. There's one of the Mona Lisa. Even if you've got the world's best camera, the world's best printer, and the world's best printer paper, and you took a picture and printed out a copy of the Mona Lisa, you couldn't take it to the Louvre and say, yo, I want to swap and try and swap them your Mona Lisa for their Mona Lisa.
This makes sense.
I mean, you could try, but they'd probably turn around and go, no.
Well, they probably turn around and say, yeah, okay, the one hanging up there is also a fake, obviously. Like, we wouldn't put the real
Stolen by Nicolas
we
Cage.
wouldn't put the real Mona Lisa out there because someone would steal it or punch it.
Punch the Mona Lisa. Boy review versus the Mona Lisa. Who wins?
I think we'd win, but the cost would be terrible, both financially and morally.
We'd win in a physical sense, but in a financial and moral sense, we'd be the biggest loser.
The biggest loser, France. Biggest Lisa.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
so
a good bit.
if someone wants to sponsor us, like give us a sponsorship for the show, to be something $850 million, then we'll do a live stream where we go and punch the Mona Lisa.
Yep, we promise we'll do that. We get just under $1 billion in ad revenue from a sponsorship, then yes, we will go and punch the Mona Lisa, and that is a boy review promise.
Famously, a boy review promise is worth nothing. What are they gonna do though? Like, what crime would we have committed if you just went and punched the Mona Lisa? Like,
That'd be like destruction of property or something. There is a crime for that.
What if we bought the Mona Lisa? We've had this exact
It's owned by
conversation, right? What if we bought the Mona Lisa? Could you eat it? You just eat the Mona Lisa? There's nothing stopping you. That's in my brother and me episode.
If you own the Mona Lisa, that isn't my brother. For goodness sakes, we're stealing bets. If we bought the Mona Lisa, yeah, you could eat it. Like, it's yours. What is something that, like, Wilkie? Do you own an ice cream? If you buy an ice cream of an ice cream, like from an ice cream van, they're not gonna like smack it out of your hands when you try to eat it. They're gonna be like, no, well, you own that ice cream now. Like,
no, but that is an example of what you've just been talking about, right? In terms of something being fungible, right? Ice cream. The ice cream man doesn't mind if I eat the ice cream because the ice cream man has 100 identical ice creams in his van. But the Mona Lisa, someone might object to me eating it.
It's non-fungible. The Mona Lisa is non-fungible because it's unique. So that's why I use the Mona Lisa. So that kind of makes sense for art because, like, some people would say the unique thing about an original is like the brush strokes and all of that, whereas a reprint isn't often seen as valuable. It's a print. You know, you can probably, from the Louvre, you can probably buy a copy of the Mona Lisa like on a poster on a little A4 sheet of paper for like 10, 20 euros.
Yeah.
Not 850 million euros or dollars or whatever currency you said.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But an NFT, a non-fungible token, is that, all of that, but digital. So you make a piece of artwork, an original, a digital piece of art, and then you can sell that as an NFT. And I know what you're thinking. Couldn't I just like take a screenshot of it? And because it's digital, it's practically identical? Yeah, but your copy isn't the original. Someone owns that original piece of art and they've bought it.
I think I have heard about this. I heard that someone bought the actual God, what's the guy's name? The guy who invented Twitter. The
Jack
first
Dorsey.
tweet he made. Yeah, Jack Dorsey's first tweet has been sold. And it's like, sure, you can take a screenshot, but like this person owns like the actual original data that comprise that tweet.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things as well. Yeah, they own that tweet now. Somebody, I don't know who it was, but I think it sold for a lot at auction.
So if you look at that tweet, does it now have that person's Twitter handle above it, as if they tweeted it?
I don't think so. No, it still has Jack Dorsey's Twitter handle above it. You can find the tweet. It still is online. It's still the original tweet, but the ownership of that tweet has gone to somebody else.
Okay, like the legal ownership.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
As in, like, if someone wanted to include a screenshot of that tweet in like a documentary about Twitter, it wouldn't be.
They'd have to ask the other person.
It wouldn't be up
permission.
to Jack Dorsey if they could put it there. It would be up to this person who's bought the NFT.
Potentially, I don't know. It gets weird because I think there are sometimes stipulations that are put in place. But a way to think about it might be like on Twitter. It's now, it's almost like someone's bought a piece of art and they've loaned it to a gallery. So the gallery has the art on display, but the gallery doesn't necessarily own the artwork.
I see.
So that's kind of like how it goes, but it gets really weird, right?
Okay, I can imagine it would.
Because, yeah, you start to question, like, what's the difference there? But I think there's some really cool possibilities for, say, the future of NFTs. So, for example, one thing you could do is maybe you're an artist. I'm going to keep using art because that's easy. Or you make music. Let's go for something different. You make music. You make songs.
Maybe you make podcasts.
Maybe you make podcasts. Maybe you're two guys and you're sitting in your separate rooms and you're talking to a microphone and you're trying to make some money.
Just hypothetically, maybe, unless.
And maybe you want like $850 million to go and punch the Mona Lisa. Hypothetically speaking, of course.
Legally, this is a joke. Legally, this is a podcast.
But like, let's say you produce music each month. You could say like, okay, I want to do a Q&A with my top fans from last month. So if you own 3 of the NFTs that I made in February, I'll do a Q&A with you. And because then you can prove that someone has bought that NFT. Because you can be like, well, this NFT is exclusive, you've bought it. Because an NFT doesn't just have to be, say, like the tweet where there's one NFT, it's exclusive. It could also be you've bought a CD.
That was about to be my question. Yeah. So when you edit this podcast, right, I send you my audio, you've got your audio, you splice them together, and then say when you wanted to export that to the final MP3 that we then put on YouTube and various podcast services, instead of exporting it to like your Audacity folder, you export it directly onto a USB, right? So that file has only ever existed on that USB. And then you then upload it to podcast services, right? And then you take out the USB. So the original file is still on the USB stick. You've copied it to put it onto the podcast services. But that USB is the NFT?
Kind of, yeah. I think an NFT has to be a specific thing because I think it uses technology similar to like blockchain and stuff. So you can.
So that USB is collateral for an NFT.
Potentially, yeah. Because it's like, if it's weird to think about, because if you think of a Bitcoin, someone owns, even though that's digital, that's something that someone can kind of own. So an NFT is kind of the same thing. It's trying to turn something that's not tangible into something tangible. You can say confirm someone owns this thing that's digital. They haven't just say with the music, they haven't just copied it off YouTube. They haven't just got it off a mate. They own the song. They have paid for it or paid someone else for it.
So I'm trying to think of an example that like, because your examples are really helpful, but I think if I could come up with my own example, then that would help me understand it better. So you use the example of a £10 note, right?
Yeah.
A £10 note represents an amount of gold. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh God! Oh no! Oh, that's horrible! I can't sneeze.
Wookie, you went. I'm gonna sneeze, and then froze. Wookie broke.
No! Oh, that was the worst experience ever.
Wookie acknowledged the sneeze existed, and so it left.
Oh, I feel terrible. So that £10 note represents.
I feel terrible. My day is ruined.
An amount of gold in a bank vault somewhere that is worth £10, right?
Theoretically, I don't know if it does anymore.
Okay, I think it must represent something, right? So,
well, I don't think we own any gold. Wasn't that a big deal? Some prime minister sold a lot of gold at one point.
So back when money used to be transferable to gold, right? The Jack Dorsey tweet is still on like Twitter's big servers, right, where they store all the tweets, so they store all the data, right? But someone has this little unique token, right? This code, this little book, this little block of text that means that like represents their ownership, right? So they don't have on their computer a .twitter file that is this tweet, right? I don't know how Twitter stores their data, right? They don't have the HTML that represents how that page is put together or anything. They just have a little thing that says that they own it. So if we sold this episode as an NFT, you wouldn't have to mail anyone the USB stick. They would just have a little digital certificate that says that they're the owner. The original file could be on your computer. It could be on Google Drive. It could be wherever.
Yeah, it's so yes, an NFT is sort of a unique. The BBC's described it as a unique digital certificate that states who owns a photo, video, or any form of online media. So yeah, I could just email this certificate that's created in such a way that you can't just duplicate the certificate. The certificate is unique in some way. And yeah, they would then own this episode of the podcast or whatever.
Okay, that makes sense to me. That's cool.
It's very odd, but I think there's it's one of those things where I hope it isn't a fad, because like I mentioned with the potentially being able to turn it into like Q&A content, I think that could be really fun for artists as well. There's this idea that people's stuff gets more expensive as time goes on, and there's a way you can set up an NFT so that if it's resold, you can take a cut of that resale value. So potentially it means that if you are an artist and sell something for $10, if in 5 years' time that same piece resells for $1 million, you can take a cut of that resale value.
Okay, almost like royalties.
Yeah, like royalties. And I think that makes it, I think that, giving artists a pretty good deal. I think there's so many opportunities in, say, for music and for everything as well, potentially for podcasting. As we've joked about here, potentially, we could sell NFT versions of a podcast, or someone could do that, and that could be very successful.
That genuinely sounds very. So we'd sell the NFT for this episode. We'd still be able to like put it on our YouTube and stuff, but it would be someone I imagine there'd be a little like a contract. It's like with a little like be fair clause. Like, come on, we can still put it on like it can still be like visible on podcast apps and stuff.
Yeah,
but you own it, and then later on when we hit, episode 527, this person's like, look, I don't need to own this anymore. It was fun, but now I'm actually going to sell it. And we're super popular now, and they sell it for $1 million. We get like how much is $1 million? We get like 100,000 of that,
percent.
and we got 100,000 quid.
Exactly. And so I think it's really awesome. Though I think NFTs are really weird.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen today like how confusing they can be, sort of, because they don't necessarily resemble anything else we're familiar with, because they are trying to fix this really unique modern problem.
Or they could just be like the thing like game stonks. People are really interested in it for like a month and then don't care. So I'm going to give them a bad good for NFTs. I think deep down they're good, but I'm worried it might not turn out great.
Bubble's going to burst.
I'm hopeful it will be awesome though. The bubble's going to pop and then I'm going to fall all the way to the ground.
Have you seen PopCat?
I've not seen PopCat. What is PopCat?
PopCat, it's just a picture of a cat, right? And someone has used like the what's the tool on Photoshop where everything becomes like liquid and you can move it around freely, and they've just like expanded the cat's mouth massively, so it's just making this huge circular like open mouth. And then if you go from an unedited version of the picture to the open mouth version really quickly, it looks like the cat's going like, and it's really funny.
Oh, whoa, yeah, it does look like it. It looks really weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to scroll up so I can't see it anymore. Yeah, but yeah, I just think
it's a good thing that I don't have epilepsy, because I think that would. I was thinking I would tweet that, but I feel like I'd have to put a warning on it first, because that is flicking very, very quickly. I thought it would be fun, but yeah, I'm gonna have to scroll up now. So
that's a very quick version of it. I've seen much more sane versions of it. Like you've seen, you might have seen. I had Nitro for a month. I had access to it from like a Minecraft streamer's Discord.
Nitro.
Yeah. I'm considering
Discord Nitro.
Discord Nitro was fun for the month that I had it. I'm considering paying for it. We'll see. Maybe once I have like a proper income, once I get a job, if I still use Discord as much as I do, it could be useful.
It seems one of those weird things. I just find the name interesting. It's like, yes, we're gonna go. We need the extra speed. Let's go.
Nitro.
And just flick open the cat and whack the button.
And then you can literally boost servers. Having servers get boosted is really exciting, because you get like higher quality audio calls and high quality images and stuff like that.
Oh,
Hambo,
okay.
we've been talking about NFTs, right? And how we could potentially make some money off them, right? We can sell the ownership of our episodes. We could get a cut of if someone sells them again, right? And if we got enough money, if we became super rich content creators, we might be able to start giving away like large quantities of money just willy-nilly, or just giving people cars, right? And you know who's already at that stage? That's right. It's Mr. Beast.
Okay.
So we talked last week also about trying to catch up with some creators. I think Mr. Beast is something to aim for, right? Mr. Beast is a predominantly a YouTuber. He makes there's a gaming channel where he does Minecraft content, usually like Minecraft mod videos with various friends of his. But the sort of the main thing that he's famous for is giving away stupid amounts of money, or giving away things. So challenges like the last person to stop touching the last person left touching the car gets the car, right? So you're all just standing there with a hand on this car until you're like, I gotta go to the loo, and so whoever stays there the longest gets to keep the car.
It's very much like, what can I put people that I'm very close friends with, or what can I put complete strangers through to get them to do weird stuff to earn significant amounts of money.
There was one that's like he drew like a circle on the ground and put people into like quadrants, and they had to just stay there. And then halfway through, this guy was like, look, I've got a job. Like, I work at McDonald's down the street. I contemplated quitting on the phone, but I'm not going to. See you guys. And just like goes off and does his real life job while the others sort of sit there and fashion toilets out of stuff. But there's Mr. Beast has reached a point in his sort of content creator ascension that I wanted to talk about specifically, and that is the December 2020 launch of Mr. Beast Burger.
Oh, okay, yes. I know a lot about Mr. Beast Burger, so I feel like I can actually talk about this. I think it's really cool.
Oh, brilliant. You can help me with this. So the Mr. Beast Burger, you can't see this because we don't do this on video, but I'm doing quote marks, right? It was a virtual dining concept, which sounds like nonsense and bollocks, which it kind of is, but it also wasn't.
It's an NFT meal, right, everybody? What you do is you send someone money and they send you a certificate which says you own a burger somewhere.
You own a burger in a deep freezer somewhere in Svalbard, and you can sell it to someone. So first of all, I'm looking at the Mr. Beast burger website, Hambo. I don't know if you've also got it up. Mr. Beast does not look like like what you expect him to look like, especially not in this Mr. Beast burger promotional picture. His facial hair is not particularly well kept. This was in the middle of lockdown, so he might not have had the chance to. It's a rather windy day. His hair's a bit out of it. He looks to be wearing pajama trousers and a raincoat and nothing else. It's a bit of a look. But
he just looked like somebody that like woke up in the middle of the night, found out that a storm was on its way and was going to tear through his home, and so just went.
Yeah.
It was just like, cool. Grabbed the first coat he could find and was outside the door. Like, good for survival, bad for like preparedness.
So as far as I can tell, the Mr. Beast burger, it's like what was the other one? Like a rapper, was it, who did a collaboration with a burger restaurant? And it was like, this is how...
You're thinking of... he did a Fortnite concert, Travis Scott, with McDonald's?
Yeah, the Travis Scott burger. It's like, this is how Travis Scott has his burgers. And...
I think I don't know if it was a burger. It might have been like a meal.
Yeah.
You can get like the Travis Scott McDonald's meal.
This is the meal that Travis Scott gets when he goes to McDonald's, right? And it's a little bit twisted. You know, it's not quite what you'd normally get because, you know, he gets special treatment because he's rich. But that's sort of how what as far as I can tell, the Mr. Beast burger was. This is how Mr. Beast likes his burgers. And there was also he has some friends, Chandler, Chris, and Carl. They're like friends of his who like work on the channel with him. I know Carl from Dream SMP. Carl does a lot of Tales from the SMP content as well. That's survival multiplayer.
And they all have like stuff. Like I can see here that Chris has a burger with fries shoved in. Chandler just has like what looks like a more traditional cheeseburger. Yeah. And then Carl has just a grilled cheese sandwich,
but
which
on
looks...
an inverted bun.
No, not not
On
tasty.
an inverted bun, Hambo. So you put the cheese on what would be the outside, you put the top upside down and you smash it, right?
Oh, okay. That looks cool.
It sounds pretty cool.
Um,
But, Hamish, we don't live in America. We
In America.
don't live in Wilson, North Carolina, particularly where this first launched in November of 2020. They actually started in November.
But we could live near a Mr. Beast burger at some point in the future, from what I understand.
We could.
From how it works.
We could.
And we could currently live next to a restaurant that will become a Mr. Beast burger.
You never know. You never know. And that's the thing. I think we need to prepare ourselves for the future. And so, here's what we have to do, Hamish. We have to be ready for the future. And what does that mean? That means we have to decide what would be on the good burger.
Oh, okay.
So that's
All right.
that's what the segment is, right? We're making the good burger. I think there should also then be like Wilco and Hambo style burgers. Maybe that like the hamburger would be what yours would be called.
Okay, yeah.
Mine could be like the Wilky Wild West burger. I don't know why it would be that. Mine would probably have to be like the vegetarian option, because I don't eat a lot of meat. I eat meat occasionally. My philosophy on eating meat is that if there's already meat that's been cooked and no one else is going to eat it and I'm still hungry, the most vegetarian thing for me to do is to eat it, because otherwise it goes to waste.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, mine, if we want the good burger to be, there's probably going to be like 3D printed improbable burgers by then. They're going to be more likely. They're not impossible anymore. They're just improbable.
I think they're called impossible
well,
burgers.
no, they're impossible.
Oh, they're improbable.
They're
Okay.
impossible now, but we've got better at it, so now they're improbable.
Okay. It took me a second there. I didn't realize where you were going with that bit.
The infinite improbability
That's
burger.
very good.
Throwback to whatever episode we did. We talked about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the infinite improbability burger. No, so yeah, you'd probably have the option to have any of these with the improbable burger on it. But Hambo, has anything jumped out to you in your mind?
So, okay, yeah. Well, I think we need to consider what the good burger would be. I think we need to maybe give that time to gestate. And I think theoretically we also need to come up with a bad burger. You know, like have that burger challenge where if you can eat the bad burger and not throw up,
God,
you get your picture on
I
the
didn't
wall.
even consider that. Yeah, okay, the bad burger. Also, complete tangent. There's a restaurant or a bar somewhere in America where you can order a D20 shot. And if you want a specific one of them, you have to pay like double, or you can just pay. So it's like $6, but if you pay $3, you roll a D20 and you get a random shot of this list. And the like Nat 20 is like something like really expensive, really nice alcohol, and the one is like soy sauce and sriracha sauce, and you just do a shot of like salty, spicy, horrible. But yeah, so yeah, like a bad burger as well.
We have to do that with our D&D group. So, okay, so the hamburger. Like for me, my favorite thing to get at restaurants is I don't like getting beef burgers or whatever. I really like getting chicken burgers. And I'd really like I think a crispy chicken burger is a good way to begin with.
Brilliant. That's a solid baseline to start with. Yeah.
I think there has to be, I want maybe sort of like not very hot, but maybe, thinking like traditional peri-peri levels of hotness. Maybe not peri-peri flavor, maybe more barbecue-y, but like a little bit of heat to it with a barbecue over the top. A barbecued chicken normal, I think. I think we have to put in some cheese, like cheese.
Okay.
And then throw in some lettuce, some onions, plenty of onions. And I think we have to, anything else I want to throw in? Like I think maybe some cucumber. Get it all going. And then what's going to be the thing that's going to be like the thing that makes it a hamburger?
Hamburger. No one's going to be able to pronounce it. I'll have the Hamish one. No, you got to say it right. Say it right. It holds it like a spatula.
Firstly, I think the top bun. You know how you get seeds on
Yeah.
a bun? I think the seeds have to be arranged in an H on the top bun.
Okay, that is incredibly anal of you. I have a suggestion that I was gonna go with that could sort of my idea was that we would have brands, because we've got our little double thumbs up logo that we could brand onto the top of the burger, so we could have a little H that could go on the top in like the same text, like the same speech bubble thing.
Okay.
So you open it up and you see like, oh, I've got the H, or I've got the good burger.
Okay, no, I like that. Okay, I like that better. That's probably way easier than just trying to get someone to place seeds on top of my bun.
I mean, look,
even though I would like that.
If we're rich enough, we could probably get someone to do that. But failing that, I think brands would be fun.
You know what? I want to make this go a little bit wild, and I think it wouldn't just be a barbecue sauce. I'd want to combine like barbecue and peanut butter.
Oh,
I don't know if that would actually work, but I want to make like a barbecue peanut butter thing.
that sounds really good.
Yeah, so it's like a bit weird.
Okay,
and that's what I go
so we
for.
have I'm writing these down. We have the hamburger, which is spicy peanut barbecue crispy chicken burger with lettuce, lots of onion, and cucumber, with an H branded into the top of the bun.
And cheese.
Oh, and cheese. Yeah, of course, cheese.
Maybe with the peanut butter in there, you'd have to get rid of the cheese. Maybe the cheese would be something to have to go, but we'd have to work it out.
Cheese and peanut butter is good. So the Wilkie burger, I can't think what it'd be called. First of all, Hambo, both of us, we both really like burger sauce, don't we?
Yes.
In the house where I would live if I were at uni right now, we have like a takeaway size bottle of burger sauce in the fridge. It's brilliant. It's so good.
I just have to settle for like the smaller bottles, whatever I can find around. But I do really like it. It's disappointing that Izzy hates burger sauce and ketchup for that matter. She hates both of them, so I don't get to have it super duper often because even the smell can like get her.
We'd have to have our own in-house burger sauce, like with our own proprietary mix. It would have to have like proper bits of like pickle in it.
You and me in it.
What? Yeah, our blood in the sauce.
It's pickled.
Pickled something.
Just it's not pickles. It's pickled Hambo.
Oh God. But yeah, mine would definitely have pickles on it.
Okay.
And,
yeah.
So yeah, it would be a Quorn burger or maybe a fish patty. Maybe like a salmon burger.
Ooh, that sounds good. Are you talking like a fish cake style thing with the breaded crumb, or are you talking like a slab of salmon? I think the slab of salmon.
Not
could be
like
nice.
a salmon fillet. What I was, because there's a midpoint right between a straight fillet and a crab cake, right? Or like a fish cake, because fish cakes have like potato and mayonnaise and egg in them.
Yeah.
It is possible to make a salmon burger with just salmon. Where you use like actual like chunks of salmon and it's held together by like salmon paste and it's all just salmon. There's nothing added to it. So that sounds really nice. But also, I've had this idea in my head, right? Because whenever I used to get like a meal deal, like you pick up a meal deal for lunch, you know, if you're out in town with your mates, pick up a meal deal, I would always get the like Walker's Sensations sweet chili crisps. Sponsor us, Walker's.
Yeah.
Gary Lineker. He's Walker's, right? Yeah.
Well, no, we'd replace Gary Lineker.
Yeah.
Gary Lineker is currently sponsored by. We'd be like, get him off. Okay, who even is Gary
He's
Lineker?
old,
like, what's football?
right?
Who knows? We're young.
We're young and cool.
We're the new blood. Like we could be. You know what? If you want us to, we'll beat him at football. We will play a football match against him. Just the two of us versus him. It doesn't matter that there's two of us and one of him, but we'll beat him.
Like he's older than us, okay? He's got an advantage, right? He's spent more time playing football. On that occasion, we will say that him being old is a good thing, but in general, him being old is a bad thing. So fire him. I would get the sweet chili Sensations crisps, right, and I'd put them in my sandwich to add a bit of crunch, and so that is what. Is what I would want to do. I think I've actually got it. I think I might actually have it. A tuna melt with sweet chili crisps in it. You'd have to be so careful to not make the
Ooh,
to not lose the
yeah.
crunch of the crisps. I don't know how you'd do that.
Science, baby.
Science, baby.
Wookie, we'll work it out.
Yeah, we'll work it out. But yeah, it's a tuna and like cheese blend melt with sweet chili
I love that you're typing this out.
crisps. Yeah, well, we gotta have a record of it, right? Okay, and now the big one, the good burger, and
The good burger.
What would the bad burger be? Would it just be incredibly spicy?
No, I think the bad burger has to have ingredients that don't go together, and
Durian ketchup. You know durian fruit? How it stinks?
that would be good. That's really smart. I want to throw in as well coriander, because is that the herb that some people think tastes like
Soap, yeah.
soap? That's it.
Yeah, coriander, or Americans would call it cilantro. Yes.
Yeah, so
Like
get
me.
that in there.
I taste soap when I eat coriander. Raw onion?
Raw onion can be good, but I think we throw it in there because some people can like raw onion, but I think it will gross some people out. I think I think we've actually got to put a burger in there, so it's got to be a patty, but I think we make it a thin patty.
Thin but not crispy.
Thin but not crispy. It's in there to so that the burger can meet the definition of a burger, but for no other reason. It's not there to be good. It's not there to be nice. It's like the blandest of bland meat, and it's if you ask for it, medium, they do it well done. If you ask for it well done, they do it barely touches the fire. They do it how you don't want it cooked.
Yeah.
And actually, I think the only way you can do it would be probably well done. Oh, what's this? It's called the surströmming. It's fermented Baltic herring from Sweden.
Oh God, okay.
And a Japanese study found that these surströmming releases the most putrid odor of any food in the world. Something like that would be perfect, right?
Pickled herring, fermented pickled herring, raw onion, coriander herb salad, durian fruit ketchup. Served on what's like you know those oh God, no, I thought about it and now I can't. Oh, it's horrible. You know when you buy like bread and it's covered in flour, right? They've put flour on it in the oven to like I don't know why they do it, and it's just covered in loose flour, and then your fingers are covered in flour, and you can't hold on to it because it's all floury.
Yes,
that like served on a extra flour dust, and then you get flour like on your lips as you bite into it.
Yeah, it's just it's a floury bap, but floury to the extreme.
Bap. So far, the bad burger is
I think
an unseasoned, thin but not crispy patty. It's done like sous vide. Thin but not crispy patty with pickled fermented herring, raw onion, a coriander herb salad, and durian fruit ketchup, served on an extra flour dusted bap.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be like other bits. I think we could throw in like, I'm sure we could throw in like an eyeball or something.
Yeah, or like
a fish eyeball,
some sort of ghost pepper, death chili sauce.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, you put in like the hottest, spiciest thing on the planet, whatever it is, like a Carolina Reaper into that durian sauce. Okay, that's what I think that finishes it.
Durian
off.
Fruit and Carolina Reaper.
Yeah.
Just terrible in every way.
Just make it awful.
And last but not least, nothing good at all. It's bad. There's no redeeming qualities. The good burger. What would... Oh, hear me out, Hambo. Right? The good burger is a build-your-own burger. Because...
It's a cop-out, but that's also really smart.
that's like...
It's like that, then it's the burger you want.
It's such a cop-out, but like also, is that not the point? You know...
Was that such a shitty answer? Just like...
But it's so
not
perfect.
Any effort.
I've been rewatching some episodes of Community with my parents, right? And you know how every episode of Community involves Jeff Winger making some sort of really dramatic speech.
I've never seen Community.
Okay, the main character.
What's Community on? Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix, yeah. Jeff Winger is always making these inspiring speeches, right? That persuade the group to like not give up whatever problem they're trying to fix. I feel like I often will get into these very like waxing poetical speeches about the like what good means, right? But surely the goodest of goods
Don't say it.
is when it is exactly what you want, right? Because bad can be universal, right? The bad burger is universally bad, but there's no way that one single burger could be good for everyone on earth, right? Because as you said, like what if the burger, like, I would want my burger to come with burger sauce, right? But Izzy wouldn't. So that's not a good burger, is it? The good burger can't exist.
I hate that you're right, Wilkie. I hate that you're not wrong. I feel so icky. I feel icky saying the good burger is what you want it to be. I feel gross.
I feel dirty.
I feel like I've been covered in durian and covered in Carolina Reaper sauce.
Oh God, am I wrong though?
You're not wrong, and that's why I feel so gross.
It feels so wrong, but factually, it's so correct.
Have you ever had Carolina Reaper, Wilkie?
I never have. No, I've never really done anything that's like super spicy. I've never had something that is like famously spicy.
So because I've done it twice that I can think of. So I remember I worked at a pub one summer whilst I was at uni, but when I came home, and I remember one evening some guy that was a regular had brought in Scotch bonnets for people to try.
Ooh.
I think he'd grown them. And I knew they were hot, but I didn't realize quite how hot they were. Firstly, just on its own, a Scotch bonnet does not taste that nice. There was nothing good about the experience. And I just took a big bite of it, and it was...
See, that already sounds like a mistake, right? When you took a big bite out of any just whole chili, right? You want to have a little nibble.
Yeah, it was a healthy serving of it. And then...
one of your 5 a day.
First I thought, like... I did want my 5 a day, and then I wanted to evacuate all of them in one go later on.
The value of the NFT of this episode is dropping by the second. It's a horrible story. Keep going. I want to hear the rest.
But it was just bad. At first, it was just the taste of it, just on its own, was bad, and then slowly the heat kicked in, and it got progressively hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, and I just could not cope. I did have to sit down for about 15 minutes to get over this flaming heat that was just inside of me.
Oh no!
Like we had like an ice cube thing, and I just had to like pop out a few ice cubes into my hand and like slowly just put them in my mouth to try and cool me down.
Sitting there doing breathing exercises.
The guests all found it very amusing, as I wasn't the only person that was struggling. There were other people, but I'd taken quite a hefty chunk, as I mentioned. And so was struggling the most.
You'd bitten off more than you could chew, as it were.
Literally. The other thing I did is Dad quite likes his spicy food, and so I got him piccalilli infused with Carolina Reaper, and you've got to have the smallest of smallest portions of it. Like, you take a teaspoon and you just gently dip in the very tip of it in, and then try and spread that over your toast or whatever you're having on a sandwich. Even though you're only putting a little bit on, it's really well made, because it cost quite a lot for the jar you got, but they obviously pumped a lot of ingredients into it, because they know you can't have much of this thing, and so the little bit you put on, not only do you get a good kick, but you actually get a really nice flavor from it. It's really strong.
Oh, that's good.
So I want to give that and piccalilli a good, and I want to give Scotch bonnets a bad. There was nothing fun about that experience.
Nothing at all. Yeah, I feel like we haven't talked about Mr. Beast enough to qualify to sort of actually review Mr. Beast. I feel like we'd have to try a Mr. Beast burger to review it. But our fictional boy review burger review, I feel like we've done pretty well. Obviously, the bad burger is bad, but like that was the point. So I don't feel like that's necessarily a loss. What is it? The bit from Sonic where it's like, I didn't expect that, but I was expecting not to expect something, so it doesn't count. Like, we designed it to be bad. So that was a win. Good burger is good. Your hamburger sounds genuinely delicious.
And I really like the sound of yours with the salmon and the crispy. I just think that sounds perfect. I'd want to eat all of the burgers.
Yeah, you'd want to eat the bad burger just for the clout, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we could collab with Hot Ones from First We Feast, the spicy chicken wing tasting show. We could collab with them to make our durian fruit and Carolina Reaper ketchup.
Yeah, and maybe for a few episodes, the last thing you do isn't a chicken wing; it's the bad burger.
It's you have to eat.
So it's just extra difficult.
Yeah, it's just extra horrible. God.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
Hambo, I had another segment that we're not going to do because we don't have time, and I'm not especially proud of it. But it was
What was it, Wilkie?
It was a collective nouns quiz, right? So I would.
Oh, that sounds good. That's going to be back next week because we were talking about this in D&D. We were trying to work out what's the collection of something.
Yeah.
Weren't we?
Yeah. No, we absolutely were. The collective noun for
ghosts.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah, the collective noun for a group of ghosts is called a fright. So yeah, we can save the collective nouns quiz for next time. Definitely.
We should definitely give that a go because that sounds awesome.
And there must be like 500 different things here that all have collective nouns from somewhere.
Oh, maybe next week we could find a guest and that could be a Boy Beats World.
It could, yeah. We could get a guest on next week. That'd be exciting.
But with all of that, with a little teaser for next week, that's the show. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you think that our boy review burgers sounded nice, you can tweet at us. You can be like #boyreview #burger, and we'll see that on Twitter. And if you've liked the show, you can put #boyreview #good. Let all your friends know that boy review's awesome. Maybe you could just, if you don't use Twitter, you could always just give it a 5 stars. You could give it a like. If you're on YouTube, give it a subscribe. Do all of that stuff. Give a comment down below about what would be on your burger. Do whatever you want. It's your space. And if we turn this into an NFT, it's somebody else's space, but still do what you want. And with all that, it's going to be a goodbye from me.
And it's going to be a goodbye from me. See ya. How have we never said goodbye before?